Hello and welcome to another episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club. It's episode 34, which is my wrap up of the fall season for 2020. I'm recording this live on my streaming channel, twitch.tv/Pat Baer. So I have a live chat. I'll be interacting with chat. And I'm going to be talking about the shows I watched, the shows I didn't watch, and the shows that I read a Wikipedia summary of because I want to know what the fucking twist was, but I certainly wasn't going to watch a show that didn't sound good at all. Because sometimes you watch shows and they turn out to be bad, and sometimes you know immediately the thing isn't good. So we'll go through these. I'll be talking about them. My chat's going to ask questions. In the comments on the YouTube video below, you can also let me know what your favorite show this season was, or you can let me know what your favorite show of 2020 was. And look for my top 10 list coming out in a video format next year. That's right, in the far off distant time of the year 2021, which I guess actually by the time this video goes up on YouTube will already be 2021. So this year, I should say. Anyway, why are we starting with Gallon Dino? Gallon Dino didn't come out in the fall 2020 schedule. You're saying to yourself out loud while you're watching this. Well, it didn't come out at first. It came out in the spring 2020, but then it went on hiatus because it was due to the COVID lockdown in Japan. They had to cease they had ceased production, I should say, and then it came back in this fall season. If you don't know Gallon Dino, it is a show that is based on a manga about a girl, Kaede, who is a gal, and she wakes up and is shocked to find out that there is a cartoonish-looking dinosaur. He's hard to see in this photo. He's right over here. You can see him kind of there. I don't enjoy... This is one thing about AniChart. AniChart is the website I'm using for this. I don't love that. But Dino doesn't talk, but emotes, and Kaede and Dino becomes friends, and it rules. And the episodes are animated and them going through some adventures. But here's the thing. That's only half the show. The other half of the show is a live action version. Now that's not unusual for anime. There are live action drama versions of popular anime. But they usually don't happen at the same time, and they're not in the same block, and they're not completely bonkers. Like if you watch the Laid Back Camp drama, it's just Laid Back Camp, but with live actors. This show goes off the rails. It's produced by Pop Team Epic, which should give you a good indication. It is. I'm not going to spoil anything about where the live action series goes. I'll just say in the very first episode, Kaede is not played by the voice actress or a different young lady. There's a man playing the character, but also is playing himself. He's like, they just basically got like a character actor, like a fairly popular Japanese character actor, to play like a version of himself, but also as a gal. And that's the first of these, and it was just like, what is happening? So Gallon Dino rules. It technically half of the episodes, or episodes 8 through 12, came out in the second, in this season, so it counts. It's not listed with the other fall. This sounds wildly confusing. So Julie, it is. The basic idea is that while there are people who are weirded out by the fact there's a dinosaur around there, the animated is actually just a comedy slice of life about unlikely friends. It's wholesome and fun, and there's a great cast of characters. And the live action is that, but it's also a whole lot of other shit. And it's unbelievably weird. There is a 90s movie, United States movie reference late in the show that comes out of nowhere and doesn't make any sense, and it's incredible. And I won't spoil it, but it's unbelievable. So that's Gallon Dino. I want to start with Gallon Dino. Now we'll get into the shows that actually came out this season. I didn't watch every anime that came out. Also, I should point out, not every anime gets licensed. Some don't get licensed, especially the chibis, the short ones. The shorties don't always get licensed. Um, I don't know anything about A3 Autumn and Winter, except that it's a sequel to Spring and Summer. Um, but I have not seen this. Yeah, I did not watch this. I cannot tell you anything about it. Um, okay, Adachi in Shimamaru. Um, so the thing I want to say right off the bat is this is not a tease. This is not. Sometimes it happens in anime, okay? Where an anime show has a bunch of girls in it and it's courting this audience, but it's not. It's a lie. It's not queer baiting, is what I'm trying to say. Um, Adachi and Shimaru, it is a love story. It's a very slow burn, incredibly slow burn. I stopped watching it weekly because I was just like, and I had to like marathon it. Um, but it's about it. Honestly, there is romance and there is an attempt to make a romantic connection, but it's mostly about people who are just kind of broken and in high school and trying to figure out what it means to like have friends and be friends and be there for one another. Also, um, there's a girl down here that's a minor character in the show that wears a spacesuit all the time and claims to be an alien. And I don't know what she's doing in the show, and it's weird. But it's about friendship and figuring things out, and then there's clearly longing, and there's like, so while it is not a queer baiting show, it does have the dumb lesbian trope, which is just that in general, girls who like other girls exclusively don't realize who other gay people or queer people are, and have no idea they're being flirted with. It is a trope, and it is very clear in this one. Um, but I do think that the show is totally rewarding and worthwhile. Um, it's a very slow burn. Uh, but yeah. Um, okay, Akadama Drive. I did not watch this show because I do not like the art style. Um, uh, a friend of mine is doing one of the voices in the dub, so I'm gonna watch it at some point. Um, but like, yeah, it just didn't appeal to me, and so I have not checked it out. Assault Lily. I watched the first Assault Lily. This is the first episode of this show. Was the first episode of any show this season, so I watched it because it was the beginning of a new season. Um, it mixes the CGI animation with digital animation in a way that really bothered me. If you read the description, we're talking about the thing I don't like is bad names for aliens. Like they're known as huge. They're just aliens or other dimensional creatures, but they call them huge. And I'm like, all right, I don't like that. Um, and it's based on dolls, which isn't a problem. It's just weird. All the girls' weapons are CGI, and all the monsters are CGI, and it does not blend well. And I did not like the first episode, so I did not continue to watch it. By the grace of the gods, the best isekai this season. There's a lot of shows here, so I am going pretty quickly. But in chat, if any show comes up you have a question about or that you enjoyed, feel free to add that there. But I am going to kind of move through it because there's a lot of shows, and I watched a lot of them. Yeah, Julie says this is pretty. By the grace of the gods is really cozy. It is it's an isekai, so other world. So a guy dies and gets to start over as a young man with magical powers. And he is a dependable little guy. He's got a bunch of slimes. That's his main thing. He tames slimes. And all the slimes are CGI, but they blend really well. And the thing I want to point out here is, unlike other shows, the monsters that he fights, because there are times where he's fighting, those are digital. They're not CGI monsters. And I was so psyched when I saw goblins that were not that didn't look terrible meshed with the rest of the art. There's some CGI stuff in there, like the horses and the carriage, that I wasn't thrilled with, but I know I'm a stickler for that. And other people, it doesn't bother them at all, but it does bother me. But by the grace of the gods, it's a cozy little show. By the end of it, it tacks on a romance that didn't enjoy because he's a child, but he's not a child. He's a 30-something-year-old man reincarnated as a child, so it's weird. But also, I do want to point out there is a cat girl here, and there are other beast people, and they are not sexualized. They are not interested in our main character. They are not wearing incredibly skimpy outfits, and that rules. Um, while I wish maybe they looked more like animals, they're not. Yeah, they're not presented as eye candy or harem. This is not a harem show, and that rules. But yeah, it's a cozy little isekai. These are the gods that brought him to that world, and I like them. Um, okay, so I did not watch D4 DJ First Mix. I think calling your thing First Mix is pretty cocky to be like it's the first mix, because that's just saying you think you're getting a second or third mix, and I don't know. Um, so I did not watch this, and the idea of DJ units and DJ battling sounds kind of fun, but it also felt a lot like an idol show, and I'm not into idol shows. Just not. Um, Dragon Quest: The Invention to Die. I watched the first couple episodes of this and fell right the fuck off. It is a generic action show. It does not feel like it needs the Dragon Quest name. It certainly doesn't look like Dragon Quest. Um, it doesn't feel like Dragon Quest. It. I think I would like it more if it didn't have the name in it. It's just generic. If someone told me this was their favorite show this season, I would believe it because maybe they don't watch a lot of shows, or this just hit all their buttons. It was comforting. I don't know. Later, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite shows this season, and I don't expect anyone to watch it but me. Dropout Idol Fruit Tart. I did not watch this show. A friend of mine really liked it. Again, I am not into the idol thing. I kind of like the idea of a bunch of washed up idols being strung together to save their dorm from being torn down. I think that plot is pretty great. But also, I was just like, meh, I think I'm okay. I did not watch season 3 of Golden Kamuy. Kamui? Kamui. Uh, this show has This is a show where I like watching YouTube clips. I like watching YouTube clips of the food and them loving food. I like that it is in some ways historically accurate because it is talking about some of the First Nations people of Japan. Um, and it is apparently pretty damn accurate in some regards. But also, it's just brutal in a way that I'm not into. I'm just not into how fucking brutal it is. So, uh, yeah, I bounced off on the first season. Um, oh yeah, Haikyuu. The second half of Haikyuu to the top, which was the fourth season, they had a delay. It was supposed to be basically back to back this year, but then had a delay. So this half was the fall season. It was 12 episodes. The first half was 13, which is weird. Usually it's 24 or 26. This one was 25. Um, Look, I don't know if I can convince you to go back and deep dive into a volleyball anime, but I'll tell you this. These are good boys. There's one team that sucks, and the thing this show does is it makes me root. I get the sense where I'm like, I can't wait to root for these guys as soon as they lose to my boys. Once my boys win, then I'll also root for them, and I want them to do well. Uh, because they're all just like great volleyball boys. They're just dedicated, good boys. There's like I said, there's one team that sucks, and they suck a lot, and they're like literally called snakes, and they're awful. But like I don't know. It's about friendship and volleyball, and uh, I say I don't like sports anime, but if it's good, I guess I like it. I don't know. Haikyuu. It's very fun. Um, okay, so this is the double season, so it's still going on. You can call it, like there's gonna be more of these. I think they're on a little break. Yeah, they're just taking like a week off. Higurashi when they cry, Gao. Now, I won't go too much into this, but I will say, um, Higurashi when they cry came out years ago. It is there is a it's visual novels, I think. Maybe it's visual novels. I can't remember. There's a video game, horror, psychological thriller video game. They make a manga. They make an anime. They promote this show coming up, leading up to the show, was promoted as Higurashi When They Cry 2020. It's a remake. They're going to redo it with cool art, new art. And it's going to whatever, and it's going to be maybe even closer to the original material. And people were like, "Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. Okay, I'm in." Or I watched it the first time. I'm good. And then a couple episodes in, the name changed from When They Cry 2020 to When They Cry Gao. And it's not a remake, it's a sequel to When They Cry Ray. It's a it's a sequel, but only one of the characters knows she's in a sequel, that she knows that she's reliving the events of the it's they rebooted the show, but one of the characters knows it's a reboot. And that's awesome. And if it wasn't about a psychological thriller about murder and kids, then I would be fucking psyched about that. Because I love a bait and switch like that. That's a fucking rad ass bait and switch. Um, but I don't want to watch it because I don't like it. I didn't like it the first time. But I appreciate the promoting it as one thing. Ah, that rules. Hypnosis Mike. Sorry. Hypnosis Mike. Division Rap Battle. Rhyme Anima. I didn't watch this. Uh, Sounds kind of like the early theories of the rebuild of Ava movies. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Where it was like, oh, is this a retelling of the original material with new art? Is this a continuation? Is it an alternate reality? Yeah, I mean, have the Fate series, because it's branching visual novels with different choices. The Fate series is there are different kind of interpretations of it with different main characters. It's a bit similar to that, but it was pitched as just a reboot, and I think that's just awesome. Uh, so here's we'll give credit to Hypnosis Mike. Um, I love the idea of they made the voice actors for this show are the singers on drama CDs that came out and in singles and this whole thing. They made this whole multimedia thing and then made the anime. So there's a built-in fan base in Japan, a rabid fan base that has heard all these things, and the rap battles, you would by buying singles, you would get a code to then go and vote for who you think won the rap battle. And so basically the audience in Japan that was following these songs and these singles uh, was able to help shape the story. And then that story is now this anime. And that's very cool, but it's also embarrassing because I don't also it's not all rap. Some of these guys are just singers, and some of the songs are ballads and love songs and dance songs. So it's not just they didn't just get a bunch of very good rappers to play hip hop characters. So it shouldn't be called Division Rap Battle at all. Um, and some of the songs are terrible. So I'm not gonna watch it. I watched the first episode and I was like, you know what? You do you. This is somebody's favorite show. I'm happy for you. Okay, then we got I'm Standing on a Million Lives, which I have not finished. I keep trying to finish, but I haven't been able to. I applaud the idea of this is an isekai. It is a entering a video game like world, um, but they transport back to their reality and go back in. Um, uh, I do like that Yusuke, um, is um, I mean, I'm just gonna say it. He's you know a psychopath, and uh, is not growing and changing. There are reoccurring elements in the show that happen where he is given the opportunity to have a breakthrough and grow as a person, and he fundamentally rejects it at every turn. And I think that's kind of interesting. Um, I don't like the show. I like one of the characters. Is she over here? Yeah. This girl over here um, is an otaku, and she loves magical girl anime. And that really affects her mental, like imagining what kind of wizard she can be and how she's. So while some of them are like, I don't play games, I don't know what I'm doing, and he's like, I know what video games are. I'm approaching this like a video game. She's approaching it like a magical girl anime, and I think that's a fun twist. But I don't think this is a good show. Uh, I will also say he keeps getting unlucky and getting bad job classes, which I think is kind of funny. So he's like a chef, and so he has to figure out, well, how do I kill monsters as a chef? And I think that's kind of cool. There's a lot of like, oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, I wish this guy didn't suck so much, or at least realize he just sucks. Uh, I don't know. I did not watch this. Akibukuro Westgate Park. It seems like kind of interesting idea. I don't know anyone that's watching it, and I do try to keep up with stuff when my friends are talking about shows. If I'm not watching it, I do try to keep up. I'm gonna drink a little water here. Hold on. Uh, yeah, we're going for a half an hour here. So I did not watch this, and I have no intention to. Um, Okay. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? 3. This is season 3 of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Uh. Fuck. What can I say about this show? Okay. So, first season of the show. Adventure series. Guy wants to get stronger, meets a good goddess, makes some friends. He's getting stronger. It's kind of funny. It's very fun. It's interesting. Um, season 2, they just try to deal with topics the show is not prepared for, and they continue that in season 3. It becomes less fun, it becomes less interesting, and it becomes much more of a slog. Because I'll tell you right now, folks, this show cannot handle the idea of, well, this girl's a monster but has intelligence, and there are other characters that are monsters but have intelligence. And what separates them from the beast tribes? Aren't they monsters? No, they're not monsters because they're part human. Well, what does it mean to be human? What does it mean? Like adventurers kill monsters in the dungeon. Why? These are big questions that is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon cannot answer. It fundamentally cannot answer these questions, much like in season 2 of the show. It could not deal with the idea of slavery and prostitution. It had no business trying to deal with those topics, and it failed at it. And I will not spoil season 3, but I'll let you know it does not do a good job of dealing with the idea of what makes a person a person. What is personhood? It does a very bad job. Fucking yikes. Uh, yeah. Oof, yikes. I did not watch season 3. I am going to watch season 3 of Is the Order a Rabbit Bloom? Um, because it's cute and fun. This is a great comedy slice of life. I kind of fell off on season 2, so I'm not even sure if I watched all of season 2. So maybe I actually won't get to it. But it's a cute show, and I like it. So It's a great, always just a great time. Okay, Owakakaru, sport climbing girls. Do not believe this tag. This is not a comedy. Now you might look at this photo and go, "Oh, four girls doing an activity." Oh, it's one of those. It's not one of those. We'll talk about the show that is one of those. This is not a four girls are really into a thing and let's see them be into that thing show. This is a sports anime about rock climbing. And the premise of a girl who is into rock climbing, who kind of stumbles into rock climbing and is a retired professional gamer and puzzle master at a young age, but quit it so that she can enter high school and focus on getting into high school, and then finds out that she can use her puzzle solving brain to help solve the puzzle that is rock climbing, indoor sports climbing. That's a really cool premise. And that's the only cool premise in the show. The rest of it is just the most cookie cutter sports anime cliches possible. There is a villain, but she's not the real villain. The real villain was someone that was pretending to be nice. Um, there's like just a lot of nonsense and a lot of weird drama that doesn't need to be there. Also, it's paced horribly. I didn't think that basically we're leading up to a big event that's going to happen. And by episode 10, I was like, oh, I guess they're not getting to the event the first season because there's only 12 episodes and we're halfway through episode 10. And then they cut to, that episode 11, they basically cut to the event. So the main event, the big thing they've been working towards, they give an episode and a half to. And it's really rushed. It's fucking so rushed. It basically hits its climax and then credits and like music playing and still shots. Like maybe they thought they were going to get 13 episodes, but they must have known at some point, oh no, we're only getting 12. Like that's the only thing I can think of. Um, it's totally skippable. Totally skippable. I wanted to like it a lot more than I ended up liking it. Okay, so episode 14, we're on a break here. We're 13 episodes into Jujutsu Kaisen. Um, I am not fully caught up on this thing. There's one more episode for me to watch 13. I have not watched episode 13. Uh, I will say that this show felt incredibly generic when it started. It's a very popular manga. People really like the show. I think it's cool, but I got a lot of like um, Bleach vibes, but not in a good way. Just like, oh, this guy, he's got like some abilities and he's like naturally gifted and he's kind of dumb and he's in over his head. Okay. Oh, the people around him might be kind of crass and hard on him, but they'll come around. Okay. Oh, this is a larger, bigger world that's happening. Okay. But it sticks with you. I mean, it's a goddamn shonen, but it sticks with you. The action I think is really well done, and it's animated beautifully. The comedy I think is very funny. Um, I'll tell you this because I still don't know what the fuck his deal is. There's a character in this show that is a panda, a talking panda, and his name is Panda. There's a panda named Panda in this show, and they literally call it out because a character goes, "Wait, you're just gonna say that's a panda and move on?" I don't know what's going on with that panda, but it's very cool. Also, this dude that wears a blindfold sometimes also covers his face, and I was getting real Kakashi Sensei vibes from Naruto. Uh, but if Kakashi was always kind of joking around with murderous intent underneath instead of most of the time joking around with murderous intent, um, yeah, there's fucking good shit in this show. And the dude, our main dude is likable. He's very nice, and he's getting it. Uh, Also, he's very mad that he can't shoot a spirit gun, which I really, and he can't throw uh, like a fireball. And I was like, okay, that's pretty great. Okay, I know nothing about King's Raid Successors of the Will. That's not true. I know a few things about King's Raid Successors of the Will. I know that it's based on a video game. which I have not played, I know that it's an original story. So it's not even the elements of the video game. It's based loosely on the video game with an original story. And I know that they got 26 episodes to tell this very boring, mediocre story that I don't recommend you watch because I got so bored of it. It's awful. I can't believe this show got 26 episodes to tell an original story. Get the fuck out of here. Kuma 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 Baer, on the other hand, I really enjoy. Alright, this is another isekai. A girl is good at a video game, and then she ends up getting transported to another world that is similar to the video game, but isn't the video game, and she's trapped there. And she's in a bear costume. And if she uses magic to and envisions bears, like instead of a fireball that looks like a bear, it'll do more damage. And she's basically incredibly overpowered. Also, young ladies love her bear style. She's a big hit, to the same way that people like teddy bears. The fact that she has like bear familiars and a bear house, and she uses bear attacks, and she's like helping people. Any girl we've met, there's not a single girl in this show that shows up that doesn't immediately is just like, Yuna, what's up? There's a tsundere character later, but she comes around real quick because she's tsundere. But everyone's just like, I am in it to win it. Yuna rules. Check out this cool bear. It's very light until it's not, but it's not like, oh, dark for no reason. It's just that at one point, like, emotions come up. If you were going to watch the show, I will give one caveat. Skip the first episode, watch episodes 2 and 3, and then episode 1. They did a terrible choice. They made a terrible choice. They took the manga and jumped to episode 3. So episode 1 is actually like the third chapter in the story, you could say. They wanted to start with the action. But it doesn't make it clear what's happening, that she's been isekai'd. It just feels like she's playing a virtual MMO, or it's just a video game like an RPG. And then the second episode happens before the events, and then the third episode happens before the events, and then the fourth episode is after the events of the first episode. It's confusing and annoying, but the watch order is 2, 3, 1, 4. It shouldn't be that way. They fucked up. It's not my fault. You can watch the first episode, but you'll be confused like I was. I remember as I watched the first episode, I was like, I thought this was an isekai. What's happening? Because also at the end of the first episode, there's a shot of her taking off the headset, but that's actually the beginning of the second episode, not the end of the first episode. It's confusing and it shouldn't be. Love Live, did not watch this. I have no connection to any of this world. Again, music shows, idol shows, not my thing. Do I think that there are some banger songs in Love Live? Of course I do. I'm not, made of stone, but I'm not super into these things, so I don't watch these shows because I'm not knowledgeable about them. All right, so here's the show that I don't expect you to watch, and I don't even know if I would recommend it for you. And I can understand why this is a 50% rating here, right? Because this is not there's a show this season that's funny. It should not be called a comedy. This is a slice of life. This is the show that is 4 girls really into a thing, diving deep into the thing they're really into. It's that show. It's just the thing they're really into is comedy. An example I use is, in podcasts, Comedy Bang Bang is a comedy podcast where comedy happens. WTF with Mark Maron is a podcast about comedy and stand-up comedy and comedians. And there's a big difference between those two shows. And that's what's happening here. Sorry. This is a show about girls that want to do an incredibly specific style of comedy. They want to do this duo thing, this Laurel and Hardy, this Abbott and Costello. They want to do sketches as stand-ups. The best primary example I can give about it is to say what kind of comedy they want to pursue is uh, early Sklar brothers. Early easy enough for me to say. Early brothers acts are sketches with these two very well-defined characters that are twins, and it's rapid fire back and forth. And they're doing like, have you ever seen their Sunday bit? Like, and they're going through radio station stuff. That's Manzai. That's the style of comedy these girls are doing. Um, it is uh, yes, indeed, yeah. It is simple. Yes, that is exactly it. Um, it is the straight man, the premise based character, and then the person. It's some of it is really intricate. Some of it is very seat of your pants. Like, oh, we know what the premise is. It's like sketch prov. I know the outline, but we're going to improvise as we go. Um, and there are two groups. There's these two girls and these two girls are all out of high school and they're competing. Now, here's where the show falls flat. It's an original idea, not based on anything. They made a manga to kind of promote the show, but it's not based on the manga. Uh, too much. There's too much happening. These two girls are successful. They graduated high school and now they have a talent agency. They're on the rise. These two girls just entered high school. They're sisters, and they want to start an act. So it's two unknown groups trying to get better and trying to get signed and move up, an established group that they jump to all the time, and two up and comers, like they still in high school, just starting out. And that's too many characters. Because there's also these girls, all four girls work at the same place, and their coworkers are an established group. Now, I should also say, um, this is done in a partnership with a big talent agency that owns comedy theaters in Japan. So there are real, actual people. There is a comedy duo named Freak that is real. And then there's Spike, and there's a bunch of acts. There are real, actual manzai groups, legitimate manzai groups playing versions of themselves in this show. Women something or other. I forget the name of it. I'm sorry. Um, but there are groups that are real and exist, and that's so fucking weird. It's so weird that there are real people and real places. Like Namba Grand Kagetsu is a real place. They go to Osaka to see stand up in Osaka because Osaka is the region. Osakans are known for two things. They are the country bumpkins in other regions of Japan. Consider them the country bumpkins. And Osakans love comedy. Comedy theaters do very well in Osaka. So, like, this anime is just like, well, we got to go to Osaka and see some stand-up. And it's like, yeah, you do. You absolutely do need to do that. What the fuck? They talk to a sketch performer who is a real person and talks about her real, actual life that exists and is real. About how she was a ballerina dancer that fell in love with comedy and left being a ballerina to pursue comedy, but like does ballerina stuff in her act because that's a thing she can bring to the table, which is like a real thing. It's about theory, and the first episode has like a joke that doesn't work, but she loves it. So like, well, it's like Mafuyu's like, well, I love that joke, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Um, and yeah, there's heartbreak, and there's setbacks, and there's breakthroughs, and a group breaks up for a little bit, but then gets back together, and they're even stronger, and like, it's great, but also I can totally understand why you would watch. If you're gonna watch it, give it 2 episodes because the first episode is rough. The first episode starts with them performing to their old high school as an air band, like basically like lip syncing, and it never happens again, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's a very bad first impression of the show. But by the end of the second episode, you should know if this is something you want to watch. Uh, yeah, I loved it, but the things I think the most about are anime and comedy, and this anime talked about improv, which I didn't think I was ever gonna have in my life, and I applaud that this is such a niche thing that exists. This show exists and talked passionately about comedy, a thing that I love. So it gets a pass. I don't know anything about the show. It's based on a video game that I've never played. I heard nobody say anything about it. There are monsters, and there are people, and there are folks who are enemies that become friends, and it's a whole thing. Semi-related, uh, uh, but I just remembered Asuka saying she got into wrestling because of watching comedy routines in Osaka. Oh, yes, yeah. That totally makes sense that Asuka would get an interest of it, because there were probably former professional wrestlers turned comedians, or there's also comedy wrestling in Japan. Certainly, probably saw somebody doing some stage stuff about wrestling and was like, "Wait, wrestling seems cool." I totally believe that. That's also awesome. Um, yeah, I don't know anything about this show. Can't tell you anything about it. So I've heard this is good, but I don't know if I believe anyone. I didn't who said it was good. It's Moriarty the Patriot. Look, I just don't want to watch Sherlock Holmes adaptations anymore. I just don't want to watch those. I don't want to watch Romance of the Three Kingdoms adaptations. I don't want to watch adaptations of Journey to the West. Although I will say I watched a show this year that is Journey to the West related, and I didn't know that until the end of the series, where suddenly they're like, "Oh, by the way, he's the Monkey King," and I was like, "Oh, fuck you! Don't make me watch that. I don't want to watch those." And I don't want to watch Sherlock Holmes adaptations. I just don't want to watch them anymore. I'm done. So okay, like, sure, making the main character be Moriarty and have him be a justified villain. I hope it was awesome, but I'm not into it. Noblesse literally finished up at the time of this recording. I watched a few episodes, but I fell off after like 4 episodes, and all the nobles are completely irredeemable. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're gonna make Moriarty the main character and like the protagonist, then everyone around him has to be awful because he's a villain. He's a complete villain. So, like, you have to make the people even worse. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just that's not what I want to watch. Um, Noblesse. So, Noblesse is this like it says okay. So I'll say right about right here. It says it's a sequel to Noblesse Awakening. It's annoying. Noblesse Awakening is an OVA that came out a couple of years ago as like a proof of concept. Like, hey, this should be a full show. It's basically they made a long, like the first episode or 2 episodes of the series is an OVA, and then it picks up right after the events of the OVA. It should ignore the OVA and retell those episodes, but it doesn't, and that sucks. Um, Noblesse is Rai, our main character. He is a vampire that has been asleep for hundreds of years, and he wakes up in Japan and is like, everything looks weird. I guess I'll enroll in high school to see what's up. I need to learn about this world. I look young. I'll go to high school. And so he goes to high school. Turns out this dude right here uh, is the principal. Also, is his long lost servant Frankenstein. And you're saying to yourself, Pat, why is a human named Frankenstein? And I wondered for many, many episodes, and they eventually do tell you why this dude is named Frankenstein and what his fucking deal is. But anyway, Noblesse is a title. It's a. There are nobles that are basically immortal, and they don't. You can't kill them like you kill a normal vampire. And the Noblesse basically enforces the laws of the Lord, the Vampire Lord, and all of the nobles that protect humanity. Um, And sometimes this show is funny as hell. It is so fucking funny because he's like gets a cell phone and plays video games and discovers how great ramen is and hangs out with high school kids and like it's fun. And then like these people, those are the high school kids you see. These people show up and they're nobles, but they don't know that he's the noblest. They just know that something's weird about him, and they're awkward and weird, and they've never been around humans that much, and so they're like, I guess we'll go to school too, and like this dude was augmented, and there's other guys that are augmented, and the quiet weirdness of like an overpowered main character who's also like kind of just enjoying high school, and then there are monsters and other vampires, and it's gets there's a lot, and there's flashbacks. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Project IG did something similar with Ghost in the Shell or Rise thing. I don't even remember what order you're supposed to watch in. Yeah, it's annoying because they should have just redone Awakening. Awakening came out in 2016 or 2017. Just redo it. But then they got 13 episodes to tell a pretty big story. Here is a thing that I'm nitpicky on and I don't enjoy. So, another South Korean manga, I'm going to say manga, it's not the term they use, webtoon that was made into an anime, produced by Crunchyroll, came out this year, God of High School. That's still set in South Korea. Noblesse is not set in South Korea. They moved it to a Japanese high school. They changed the names of some of the human characters to Japanese names instead of Korean names. And I think that's lame. I think they could have properly like set it in South Korea and had like South Korean names. I think it's totally unnecessary. I thought it made God of High School even better because it felt like that show was set where it should be. And yeah, I think that's an unnecessary change. I know why they did it. I just don't think they needed to, and I don't like that. All right, let's see. I did not watch Osamatsu-san 3. I'm way behind on Osamatsu-san. It's fun. Uh, Studio Perot is the same studio that does Black Clover, and so these dudes were in the background of a shot in Black Clover like at the end of last year, and that fucking ruled. Um, okay. I have not seen a single lick of Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World. It's Romeo and Juliet and with magic. And if that sounds fucking awesome to you, go check out this show. Romeo and Juliet, but with magic, does not sound interesting to me, especially if Juliet is an anime character and thus tsundere. I'm good. I don't need it. I just don't need it. But I do need another. Please, please, please give me another season of Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle. Please, please, please. If you have watched ReZero or then you know Rem, and if you have watched Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, then you know Hestia, the goddess, the main goddess in the show. That is the same voice actress that plays our princess, Silas, and she is terrifying but also adorable. Basically, the demon king kidnaps the princess and sets up elaborate things to test the hero, to grow the hero, and strengthen the hero, so eventually the hero can come and try to rescue the princess, and then the demon lord king can either defeat the hero, or the hero can defeat the demon king, and thus we will end the current situation of humans hating and being fearful of demons, because there was peace, but the peace was because the demons hid away and weren't on the surface. And now they're back, and the humans are upset about that. But mostly it's a comedy show about this princess who just like wants to have a good night sleep. And she needs a better bed, she needs better sheets, and she needs better clothes. And the wackiness of all these demons who, let's be honest, outside of the real shit of kidnapping her, are very nice. They're legitimately nice people. They feel bad of what's happened. They feel bad for kidnapping her. And so there's a lot of comedy that rides, and it's fucking really good. It's really good, and she's great. And the voice actress is clearly having a ball doing it. The opening song is catchy as hell. I would. This is one of my favorite shows this season. This and Haikyuu are my favorite shows this season. So yeah, there we go. That's it. This and Haikyuu are my favorite shows in fall 2020. Cannot recommend it enough. If I was doing a top 10 of anime, it's number like 11. It barely didn't get in my list. Maybe it's 12, but it's really good. I did not watch Strike Witches Road to Berlin, which is part of the franchise's 10th anniversary, and I don't know anything about Strike Witches. It's the sequel to the movie. I don't know what to tell you. Talentless Nana. Okay, so. Okay. So, the premise of the show is the enemy of humanity is some sort of monster. There are people with special abilities that are called the talented, folks that have talents. It's all these people. This girl shows up on the island. She doesn't actually have a talent. She pretends to have a talent. She pretends that she uses her keen observation skills to act like she can read minds. And if you look at the tags, you go, hey, why is it a drama, horror, psychological, supernatural? Well, I understand supernatural and drama. Why is it horror, psychological? Well, I'm going to spoil the thing that they do in the first episode. And it's a spoiler if you if you went in blind. If you really don't want to be spoiled about this, you can skip ahead a couple minutes because I won't talk long about this. You want to skip ahead, feel free to do that. The reason why she's lying about having powers is she's sent there to murder all of the talented kids because the government she works for has decided that actually these talented kids are the enemy of humanity. So I thought it was, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting that it's a girl doing this, manipulating characters to figure out what's going on, kind of show. That might be kind of interesting, but I'm not really interested in another show like that. But it's actually Danganronpa, but you know who the murderer is, and it's the main character, which I also don't care about and don't want to watch. So it was like, oh, once I found out what the twist was, I was like, oh, cool. I don't care. I don't care. Also, this has a shorties with like a cute, chibi version. Why? Why would they make a chibis of this? I guess if you want to like the characters. Also, because it is supposed to be the idea is that it's a shonen, but really it's not. All these characters are very broad in a show that doesn't need them to be broad, but they had to be broad to fool you, and so it's like, yeah, it's not fun. The Day I Became a God. Okay, I am not going to tell you anything about this show. I don't think you should watch it because I don't think it's good. It's paced very poorly. It is a comedy until it's not, and then it is a drama. And I don't think it's worth it. This is weird because this was only 11 episodes. That's 10 and 11 are such weird numbers for shows. A lot of shows are 12, and then a bunch of this past couple of years have been 13. This one was 11. That's just a weird number. I didn't watch this. Like, Papa is a great studio. I watched the first episode. The thing I liked most about this show, about a guy who is a failed gymnast. He was a great gymnast. Now he's not. I really enjoyed the dub for The Day I Became a God. Okay. I'm glad you did. Um, Overall, I just don't think that I don't think it pays off, uh, and I don't think it earned its last couple episodes. Um, you know what it's not obviously it doesn't go the same way. I would compare it to Charlotte. How Charlotte is a really fun, weird show, and then Charlotte decides that it's a drama, like it's a deep action drama out of nowhere. If you've seen that, um, this kind of does that, where the day I became a god is a comedy until at a certain point when it's like actually there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of twists and turns. Let's get into it, and you're like, okay, yeah. Um, Gymnastic Samurai is set in the 90s, and they make a Matrix reference, and I thought that was cool. Also, there's a big bird that they own a large bird that they named Big Bird, and I think that's a great idea. But Gymnast Samurai, no thanks. The irregular Magic High School visitor arc. So, if you watch the first season, it's more of that. It's more of the first season. So it's more um, overpowered main character, pretty strong main character, brother and sister, creepy relationship, really creepy relationship. Then you got a new character that comes in, they introduced in the movies, that is she's weird and tsundere and annoying, but also there's now a love triangle between them. But the love triangle involves a brother and sister, and I need that to not be a thing, but it is. Um, and there's some mysteries, and I don't give a shit about those. They also introduce another brother sister duo that have a weird relationship that I don't enjoy. They double down on that, and it's just. And then there's a cool character that I like, and she's barely in the show. There's a secondary character that I really enjoy that goes to America for a while, and I think that sucks. I did not watch this week to week. I saw some clips of some action stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna check this out again. The action's really good. I'll tell you that I don't think it's paced well. It did not need 13 episodes to tell the story it's trying to tell. It's basically they took an arc. They took the next arc in the manga and were like, I guess we'll stretch it. I don't know. It wasn't great. I can't recommend it. Um, but if you really love the first season, it's more of the first season. Without a high school tournament happening. Tonikawa, Over the Moon for You. This is the show that I am way behind in because I am not in the mood for a lovely romantic comedy, and that's what this is. It is a lovely story about characters who are too young to fucking get married and barely know each other get married because they are made for one another, and she's perfect, but then reveals to be weird in a way that I really like. And he tried to be perfect, but he's clearly like a goof. Um, and it is uh, weird, and it sets up the first episode where like Nasa like gets hit by a car and almost dies. Um, and then they end up together and they're married, and it's just them like learning about each other. It's got a lot of like I love my wife energy, um, and like, oh, and I love you, and we're figuring things out, and oh, how do you not do this, and how do you not do that? And there's a fun cast of characters. I only watched like 3 episodes, and I'm gonna watch more of it, but I was just like, this is too cute, like turning red, mustering up the courage to hold hands and then turning red. I was just like, I'm not in the mood for this. Or like learning that like, oh, it's awesome to take photos of my wife and like document our time together. Like this rules. Like he's making all these discoveries, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll watch this someday, but right now, I'm good. Uh, I don't know anything about this show. Didn't watch the first season. Didn't watch the sequel. Wandering Witch. Hey, did you ever wish that Kino was an asshole? If you ever watched Kino and you were like, I wish this character was shitty and didn't get involved. Uh, this is not a slice of life. This is a dark fantasy show. Uh, Elaine, Elena, sorry, it's spelled Elena, but it's Elena. Um, I just recently watched both versions of Kino's Journey. Yeah, so you know Kino and Kino's Journey. Kino, the second one. Let's go with the second one. She runs into some situations and she's saying, "Okay, well this is happening, all right," and then she gets involved in what happens and lives by her own code and her old moral standing. Well, Elaine is a wandering witch, and she doesn't give a fuck about what's happening. She doesn't care at all what happens. In fact, at one point, she's like, I don't think I can, I'm not going to think about what just happened here because I will get sad otherwise. And you're like, well, fuck you. Not into it, not happy about it. Cannot recommend that show. The art is cool, but she just sucks. And like, not going to spoil anything. They try to make it so that the situation she was in has actually been bothering her this whole time, but that it comes out of nowhere, and you're like, I don't fucking believe you. Also, there's queer baiting because there are very few dudes in this show, and all of the ladies are in love with some other lady. Like, it's like she got inspired by this book, and she gets trained by somebody that was trained by the person who wrote the book, and that person is definitely in love with her, and she's definitely in love with her, and there's another girl who's definitely in love with her, and there's another girl, and they're whatever, and then the sister comes in, and she's jealous of the relationship. She's not in love with her sister, but she's jealous of what's happening, and maybe she has feelings, but nothing happens with any of that, and it's all sucks, and it's all like, it's not even subtext, it's like teases. Uh, yeah, I'm really unhappy with the show. And apparently, the manga's even darker than the anime. They took out stuff to make the anime lighter, and I was like, Jesus Christ. I don't know anything about warlords. I do like. I say I don't like dumb names for monsters, but I think the Pillars is actually kind of a cool name. Uh, uh, But yeah, it's young female pilots with supernatural pilots and spirit fighter planes. Uh, okay, I don't know. Um, Yoshihime. So I am not caught up on Yoshihime, but I will say this: Pillar Men. Yeah, it's not the Pillar Men. Um, Yashahime. So here's what I will say about Yashahime. It is the sequel to Inuyasha. This ain't Boruto. This does. Are the characters from the first show around? Yes. Is this an excuse to just rehash things that happened to Inuyasha and the gang? No. Is it about Shishomaru's twin daughters and Kagome and Inuyasha's daughter getting into their own adventures and having their own story? Yes. Are there a lot of, and it's this person's kid? Yes. But it's their story. The thing I hate about Boruto is um, tries to have it both ways. Boruto is trying to be, check out this cool story and these cool characters and these new ninjas, but it also is, hey, remember Naruto? Oh, how cool was Naruto? You know, Boruto's dad is Naruto. There's literally an episode a couple weeks ago that was just closure for some characters from Naruto, and Boruto isn't in the episode. He's briefly in the episode. He doesn't have word. He doesn't say a word in the episode, and I was like, "Who is this for? Are you trying to get a new audience? What is this? This show, Yashahime, is for fans. It is for fans of the show. Uh, uh, but it's also for a new generation. If you missed it out on Inuyasha, you can pick this up real quick. You can get to who the characters are real easy. You can get into what's going on. And I think you'll really like it. I mean, I do. I don't know about you, but I really liked it. I think you'll like it. I really do recommend Yoshihime. I'm behind on it, like I said, but I'm going to get into it. Um, yeah, I think, and also Toa is over here, and Toa fucking rules. Uh, Indeed. This reminds me of when a wrestler is popular only for being a third generation superstar or whatever. Yeah, so it's a little bit like how like Ted DiBiase Jr. never got a chance to be Ted DiBiase Jr. He was just the junior was the big part. Um, but like, yeah, but there are second or third generation wrestlers who are incredible and also are second and third generation wrestlers. And I think Yashihime is is successfully doing that. Where it's like, yeah, I mean, we built all this world and we did all this work, but also we got cool characters. So, let's go in the shorts. I did not watch this one. I don't even want to give it the time of day. Anime Capybara-san uh, has more episodes. I don't know how many episodes it's going to have. They haven't said how many episodes. It's like a minute and a half. It is meant for kids, certainly meant for kids. It is cute as hell. It is about the cappies, the capybaras, and other animals that live in this sanctuary, and it's adorable. I don't know what Eagle Talon is. I don't know what this is either. Uh, I don't know. This is like the chibi joke thing, Grand Blues for I think it's Grand Blue Fantasy. Uh, but I don't know. Also, I don't think anyone picked this. Oh no, Crunchyroll has it. Okay. Um, I don't know this one. Kaoru no Pickles. Nobody picked this up. It's based on. Uh, uh, it's like you know how Hello Kitty is just like a toy line, and then they made a bunch of other shit. That's what this is. Um, but I have not seen it. Uh, I have not watched any of One Room. I don't like anime where you're the main character. It, yeah, that's not my thing. Um, I don't know what this is, but it looks cool. It's based on some. It's an anime based on VTubers, so that's fun. I didn't get picked up. Rail Romanesque. Look, I don't know why I like this show, but I do. It is loosely based on a visual novel that is dirty. This one is not. Um, I have never ever in my life been into the shows where it's girls who are also trains or planes or jets or boats. Um, these girls are the artificial intelligence of trains, and they represent the trains, and they come together in a summit to talk about merchandising opportunities to kind of save the struggling train industry in their world. Um, and it's adorable. It's just the episodes are like 3.5 minutes long, and it's cute as hell, and it's lovely, and all the train girls are great. There's going to be a second season, so it's short and fast, and I like it. I didn't watch this. This is a bottleneck I want to like because it's weird, but I haven't picked it up. It's another short. Obviously, we're in the shorts. Yeah, I just haven't picked it up. I wanted to like it. I just haven't. Tokyo Gambo. Did not watch, but this seems kind of fun. Uh, but is not picked up anywhere, so I have not seen it. Hell yeah. This is a double length, y'all. I'm so psyched about this. There are 24 more episodes left, and with a dog and a cat every day is fun. And that rules. It looks like, is there going to be an episode they're taking this week off? I guess maybe they're taking Saturday off. That happens a lot. Like this week is the week that a lot of shows aren't going to have an episode, which is annoying. But it looks like they're taking a week off, and that sucks. With a dog and cat every day is fun is very short. It is about a person that owns the dog and a cat, and it's mostly a short little things about how like a dog they're different. They're just like a dog does this and a cat does that, and it's cute. But every couple episodes, like every 3 or 4 episodes, they hit you with a real sentimental one, like about a previous pet that someone had, or she meets a guy that talks about his cat that passed away, and you're like, hey, comedy slice of life show, don't make me sad about my pets that grew old and passed away. Like, what are you doing, anime? It does it. It's a really good show. I have not finished season 2 of Fire Force. They had me and they lost me. I liked it, and then I was tired of it. And this season is about finding all the other pillars. There's another show with pillars. Last season it was discovering. This season they know what's up. And I'm just kind of done with it. I think. I like Shinra a lot, but I don't like a lot of the characters in the show outside of it, and I do think that it's sexist and kind of a garbage show. The fire animation is awesome, but yeah, I think I'm done with it. I don't think I'm ever gonna pick it up again. Yeah, I think I'm done. Movies we can go through here because I did not watch any movies. Do I want to watch Demon Slayer? Of course I want to watch Demon Slayer movie. Of course I want to watch this. I can't wait for this to be out officially, and I can officially watch it. I cannot wait. I love Demon Slayer. Cannot wait to watch this movie. It's one of the biggest grossing anime movies of all time. It's been number 1 at the box office for 12 weeks in Japan. It's doing real good. I didn't watch this. I actually think this got delayed again. I didn't watch this. I'm interested in Happy Go Lucky Days. Not that. I don't know what this seems kind of cool, but I don't know. Yeah, these are movies. It's hard to see these movies and movie specials. This thing seems weird. Yeah, a bunch of stuff I haven't seen because they're movies. And then OVAs. This is on the YouTube channel, and it'll also be on the Blu-rays. I love the idea that Kuma 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 Bear's chibi show is called Baer 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 Kuma. That's cute. There's just short little things of them chippies, the minis. I like that. And see that. Burn the Witch is. Hey, I understand that it's the same creator, but why is Burn the Witch set in the Bleach universe? Bleach is about Shinigami and monsters, and the Soul Society, and this is a show about witches that fight dragons. And I understand it's the same creator, but why are they in the same universe? That's weird. And honestly, I thought it was fine. They broke a movie up into 3 episodes, and then they released all 3 at the same time, and it was shown in theaters. No. Don't Call Us a Junk Game. It's cute. I didn't watch all of it. You get it. Once you start, you get it. They're characters in a bad game that are trying to make it better from the inside, which is a fun idea, but it's not great. Especially since Bleach is about what happens to souls that pass on, but I guess only in Japan. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I didn't watch that. Some of these are also not out. I definitely didn't watch this. The Chibis, I think they're only on their Twitter page. That's weird. I don't know what obsolete is, but it looks kind of cool. I don't know what obsolete is. No one picked it up. It's a mecha sci-fi show that I know nothing about, but that looks kind of cool. This was on their Twitter page. It is a cute little show for the day I became, not day I became God, the other one, By the Grace of the Gods. This is the chibi one. Most of it is just voiceover of the voice actors as slimes. Is there an episode where Rimuru shows up from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime? Fucking yes. That looks like art on a Genesis cart. It does. That does look like cool Genesis art. You're not wrong. Anyway, that's cute. Uh, no, I didn't see that. Uh, okay, and so that is all the shows I watched. I am briefly going to give my preview for next season. So let's hit winter 2021. Um, drink a little water here. But yeah, I'm going to go through. You can let me know if any of these stand out to you. If there's a thing like I'm not super into this, but you are, let me know. But we can give a preview of what's coming up, what I'm interested in. Uh, I don't know if I have it in my heart to watch another anime about volleyball. Because I am, like I said, I'm not super a sports anime guy. And also, hey, winter 2021, there's a lot of fucking shows. So I don't know if I'm going to watch this volleyball show. I can tell you. What is the name of the anime? The adventurers starting next to the last dungeon. Xander, we're gonna get to that. It's in here. We'll get to it. That's coming out next season. It's got a long, annoying name. But yes, the guy from the Boonies, Xander. That's one of my most anticipated. I think that's a really funny idea. But that we'll get to that. So stay tuned and thank you for bringing it up. Alice in Deadly School. So I talked about Manzai, about how there was a whole show dedicated to Manzai. So it's kind of funny that this is that's just there. That's not a big part of the show. Um, Something else is such a weird thing to say. Are they zombies? Is it just zombies? Anyway, I'm not gonna watch this. Alice in Deadly School. I got no interest in that. That's none of that appeals to me. Uh, I'm good. Uh, Attack on Titan. If you like this show, enjoy the final season of Attack on Titan. Back Arrow. I don't. I don't know what's going on with this. Oh wait, there's mecha in it. Oh shit, there's mecha in it. All right, adding to my list. I need to look. It's got mecha in it. I'm gonna watch it. I don't want to watch this. This doesn't sound good at all. Enclosed by the wall. The wall covers, protects, cultivates, and nurtures the land. One day, Edgar, a village on the outskirts in Edgar, a mysterious man named Back Arrow appears. His name is Back Arrow. Arrow has no memory, claims he knows as I came from outside the wall, and he tries to go back beyond the wall to gain his memories. So, and then there's mecha in it. I mean, I'm going to watch it because it's got mecha in it. I don't want to because it doesn't sound good. I hope the mecha is awesome and the story is surprisingly good. Beastars, look, it's actually I can't tell you the Beastars is actually coming out in the beginning of next year because it's Netflix. But yeah, it's more Beastars. Either you're like hell yeah more Beastars, or you're like hell yeah more Beastars, and I see you, and it's okay. Bottom tier character Tomozaki. This is one of those shows that I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to watch this or not. I like the idea of a guy who's like gonna try to level up in his regular life, um, and meet someone that is like gonna give him help. It could be really fun. It also could be a very boring comedy romance. So I don't know. I'll give it a try. Um, I kind of like Stray Dogs. I don't know if I want to watch a chibi, goofy show based on that. Um, I don't know if I'll watch this. I don't know if anyone's gonna pick it up. Uh, so maybe I'll watch it, but probably not. Okay, so this is important, folks. This is important. This is a public service announcement from your friend Pat. The sequel to Cells at Work is Cells at Work with 2 exclamation points. You see that? This is the sequel to Cells at Work. They gave it 2 exclamation points instead of 1. Cells at Work, Code Black, is the dark side story. It's not the same body. It's not any of the same characters. Here's all the same characters. This is a different body. This body is bad. It's what happens if the body is awful. It is basically a horror manga. and it is, it gender bends the red blood cell and white blood cell from Cells at Work, whereas this is a comedy, this is a drama. Uh, so just be aware that if you liked Cells at Work, and you should check out Cells at Work if you missed it, it's one of the best shows in recent years. Um, Cells at Work, two exclamation points, is the sequel by David Productions, the same people that did the first one. And Linden Films is doing Cells at Work Code Black, and it is not the same story. It's important to know. Dr. Ramu, Mysterious Disease Specialist. I'm going to give this an episode. I might give this 3 episodes. Weird Doctor. I don't know. Weird Doctor anime. I kind of like the vibes of these characters. I kind of like their look. I'm going to give it a shot. Dr. Stone's Stone Wars. This feels like, it's a no-brainer. I really like Dr. Stone. A big issue with this is that all of the fun in the first season is definitely going to take a backseat to the war. Like, there might be some light moments, but I feel like Stone Wars, I think, is a great name, yeah. But I really feel like this is just going to be a bit of a slog. And, like, I can't imagine we're going to have some of our goofier side characters because things are serious now. So you probably don't want to have your detective involved. Maybe you do. I don't know. Let's see. X-Arm. I'm pretty sure that that they kickstarted this. I want to say they kickstarted this show. The premise is interesting. I'm probably not going to watch it unless someone tells me, Pat, you got to be checking this out, because the whole idea of like armaments having personalities, I don't know. Although I do like this. In 2012, a high school student who hates machines gets run over by a truck. And then fast forward 16 years later, other characters are there. I'm like, okay, sure. I assume that he is an X-Arm. I don't know. Gekidol. I'm not going to watch this. I don't like anything about this. This premise is bonkers, though. So 5 years after a mysterious disaster, there's a Allison Theater, which is a small stage troupe that takes upon themselves to brighten the world through their performances using 3D hologram technology. And then there's also mystery involved. I don't want to watch this. It's an original idea. Good for them. Here's one that's on the top of my list of stuff I'm super excited for. Heaven's Design Team. It is a comedy slice of life about the division of the animal design department. They're making animals. Everybody's a little different. You got this guy who's kind of like, he's not a creative. He's coming in to get things, moving. He's like from the head office. And all these people are nonsense. And it's like, we're going to learn about animals and like what God is like, yes. It looks cool. I'm excited about it. Horimiya. Horimiya. So Horimiya sounds interesting. I'm gonna check it out. It is a comedy romance. I have been told that it kind of drops part of its setup to just be a chill comedy romance. In that like the two main characters have like their lives in their school versions of themselves, and then they have their real life versions of themselves. But it kind of gets away from that to just be like, uh, um, like just let them be a couple and figure things out in the other characters. I don't know. I'm interested in it. It seems neat. Um, Hortessenia Saga. I don't. I don't care about this. Uh, Take back the country and the throne. Evil. Okay. Uh, Idols. Get it? Look, the description of this show is just a fun fact about the production, which is the anime's production will use motion capture technology to capture the movements of the voice cast while simultaneously producing vocal recordings. So it's basically just motion capture. Hey, we're using motion capture to make our VTubers show. That's it. Okay. I bet this won't get picked up by anyone. Idol Pride. Why are there so many idol shows? I'm good. Uh, I start you halfway through the idol again. I do not. Oh, great! It's about a school for idols. Uh, Kemono Jihen. Uh, this is not the same show as the Doctor Show. This show, this show, Doctor Ramoon, is not the same thing as Kemono Jihen, because one of them is a detective. But it also seems like it's the same show. So, I don't know if I'll watch both of those. Laid Back Camp Season 2. Hell yeah, Laid Back Camp Season 2. Look, if you haven't watched Laid Back Camp, treat yourself to a lovely, lovely show. And watch all of Laid Back Camp. Then watch Room Camp, which is the chibi side series for it. And then get hyped for Laid Back Camp Season 2. We got a few more girls, and they're gonna go camping, and it's winter camping, and into some spring camping, and I'm fucking psyched about it because Laid Back Camp is good for your soul. Look, not every slice of life is warm and fuzzy. Get hyped to get laid back. Indeed, Laid Back Camp is just warmth. It is just cute and fun and great and informative, and really fun. And I highly recommend it. Um, I'm definitely not going to watch this. Uh, young women in armor and young women with armor, but it's scantily clad armor. Armor that does not involve pants. I just know I'm not going to watch the show. I'm good. Log Horizon. I like Log Horizon. I definitely don't have any interest in the third season. I like the second season. I'm glad it's back, I guess. I don't know. Also, I hope this is just the promotional art and they didn't change art styles because I don't like it. I don't know, but I don't know. This is probably just their promo. But, yeah. Uh, it is, yeah. I like the show, but I'm not. There's so much this season. I'm probably not going to get to it. I will watch this because I'm a sucker for isekai. This is an isekai. Uh, I've heard very good things about the manga. I've heard it goes places, and it has a lot of cool story to it. Oh, I want to see this note. Oh, it's pre-screened. Okay, it must have just happened there. But yeah, I'm gonna watch Jobless Reincarnation about a 34-year-old. He gets run over by a bus instead of a truck, and then he's reborn, but he has his memory, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna do some cool shit. And there are some people that have had stigmas in their lives, but I'm not gonna see those. And I'm gonna go for it. Also, I hear that there are characters who are straight up terrified of this dude, and I think that rules. Because a lot of times, overpowered main characters just attract attention, and I love that some people are like, "Hey, you're really strong for a kid. What the fuck?" Um, non non, not non non is back, y'all. Non non is back, and I didn't think we were gonna get a third season. You want? Why are we so blessed with two chill ass slice of lives? Two chill, awesome slice of lives, and one season. We don't deserve that. But yeah, Rengen is the best. Uh, check out this show. It's just cozy. There's even less happening than in Laid Back Camp. It's just a cute little weird show. I'm very excited for that. Outsider Picnic. I'm not gonna watch. Uh, I don't. Yeah, I mean, if people are like, "Hey, this thing rules," I'll check it out. But ReZero, I didn't get into ReZero until this year, this very year, 2020. I am now hyped for more ReZero. This is a cool idea, and I want to check this out. All right, it's a cool show. Not cool. It's a cool show. I want to see more of it. The first half of the second season really hooked me. I'm in. I want to see what's going on. Things are fucking heating up. Um, Redo the Healer or Rado the Healer. I have heard to stay away from this show. That it is gross and a bummer. And I do imagine that someone will pick this up. I don't know who will. It will probably, Crunchyroll or Funimation. I imagine it'll get picked up because it's a sci-fi or it's a fantasy action series. But I have heard that this thing sucks ass and the manga is awful. So I'm gonna pass. Um, okay, please try to find. Just do yourself a favor. Don't watch it now. Later, watch Scar on the Preacher. Uh, Watch the trailer for it because I laughed so hard watching it. This seems like garbage, and I'm not gonna watch it. Uh, it looks awful. Like the fight scenes look terrible in the trailer. Uh, I think this is just an excuse to look at pretty boys. Uh, I don't know show by the rock stars. I've never seen a single season of it. Skate the Infinity is a great name, but also sounds terrible. Reki, a high school sophomore and skater, is addicted to S, which is not a drug. It's a highly secret and dangerous downhill skateboarding race that takes place in an abandoned mine. The skaters are especially wild about the beefs or heated battles that erupt in the races. Reki takes Langa, a transfer student returned to Japan after studying abroad, to the mine where races are held. Langa, who has no skateboarding experience, finds himself pulled in the world of S. It's called Skate the Infinity. It might as well be called Gleam the Cube. Um, this sounds awful. Skate leading stars, I guess, actually started. Episode 2 is airing in 3 days. It's a figure skating thing. Uh, that's weird. So the second episode it actually started airing on streaming services before it aired in Japan. So that's why it's out. I'm okay with that. So I'm a spider. So what? What's up? Another isekai I'll be watching this season because of course I'll be watching this season. So you can't see her. There's the spider right over here. The spider is right there. These are all the humans. I didn't know that at first. I just knew that it was a show about a girl getting reincarnated as a spider. I didn't know that other girls from her high school also get reincarnated as in a fantasy world, but they come back as humans. She's the only one to come back as a monster. That's a great premise. This got postponed due to COVID stuff, and I'm very hyped for it. Uh, I'm not gonna watch season 2 of Sorcerer's Stab or Orphan. This is a direct reboot of the original Orphan, which I liked at the time. It does not hold up because they didn't modernize it, and so it just feels old with new art. And so I have no interest in watching the sequel. Here is the show. Oh, well, I appreciate that, Jaws. Uh, um, Thank you very much. So this is the show that Xander was asking about. Suppose a kid from the last dungeon, Boonies, moved to a starter town. That's a terrible name. Uh, hey, could you guess it's a light novel? Last Dungeon Boonies is a bad thing. So this is a great premise. the weakest kid in a village goes to become an adventurer to get stronger because he's by far the weakest kid in his village, and he just wants to get better. He wants to be an adventurer, so he's going to go to the capital. Well, here's the thing. His town is right next to the last dungeon, the final dungeon. So everyone in the town is super strong, like unbelievably strong. He's incredibly strong. He just doesn't know it. He's just not as strong as everyone else, but he's way stronger than early adventurers. And that premise rules, and this show should be very fun. Um, there's a fighter girl somewhere in here that has, like, oh yeah, you can kind of see her there. She has an artificial arm. She seems cool. And there are people who are like, also people are just like, hey, why are you so strong? What's happening? But yeah, I love the idea that he's not a cocky overpowered main character. He's like, oh, am I? Oh, okay. Like in the starter town or the starter city, like these big monsters show up, and he like, or big ants, and everyone's like, oh god, and he's just like, get out of here. Of course, I am also hyped. Is this basically Clark Kent the anime? Oh, hi, Silver Streak, welcome. So it's a little Smallville-y, but yeah, it's a little fantasy Smallville-y, I guess, like a person coming into their own. But imagine that instead of hiding his abilities, he just goes like, what if Clark Kent was just like, I'm very strong and can do a lot of cool things. I'm going to keep doing them. And then everyone around there were like, hey, why is Kent so strong? Oh, geez, what the? Whoa! Whoa! Wow, all right, I'm going to mute because this is just going to take forever. There's going to be so much audio popping up here. We'll do the Streamlabs overlay thing so we can see this. Thank you so much for all of the gifts. 25 gift subs were just handed out. So I'm going to read out all the people. Please thank Jollifs for this. Titans Grime, Wicked Brit, Urzog, Hedgehog Knight, Xander, Dr. Jones, Chef Yasudis, Yisek 2004, Chosky, Velkoth, Red Dead Zora, Bishu, Tanoa B, Unwitting Markoshin, Meadow at Last, Unistrike, what's up, Jason, Wedge X, Falcon Boom, BMAC 2021, Gringo Daddy, Robbie Dorman, Heavy Duty, what's up, Kowalski, Mudon, and Carbony Cookie. Welcome, everyone. That now is gifted subs. Now you get cool emotes. We also unlock some emotes from that. This is going to take a hot minute. Well, I appreciate it, Jolliv. That's so generous of you. Thank you so much for this huge, big round of gifts. It's a great way to get close to wrapping up the year. We're going to let these go. It's going to take a hot minute, but I turned the audio off of it. Those that are watching later on YouTube, because this will be archived as Pepper's Anime Club, this just happened and is nice. This is just the thing that happened that's nice. So yeah, that show seems neat. Second season of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. This is going to be it's going to be two big chunks. It's going to cores. And in between them, so basically, winter 2021 will get 12 episodes. Then there will be a Chibi side series, and then we'll get the rest, the second half of the season. So there's a lot of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime coming next year. Which is awesome. 2021 is going to be a lot of slime. The first half was supposed to be this past, but COVID stuff, things got pushed. This is apparently pretty dark. Compared to the first season, it's a little darker, but I still think it's going to be rad. So here's the deal. I'm gonna watch the first episode of this, but I don't expect anyone to, and I don't know if you should. This guy is trying to power up, and he finds this hidden dungeon. But also, he's got to do sex stuff. So I don't know if this is going to be like kind of funny or really gross. I have no idea if this is going to be funny or gross. I can't tell you that I'm like hyped about it. So well, I appreciate that very much, Jollives. I do try. I'm sorry if I can't devote more time to that, but I do really appreciate all of these gift subs. That's so generous. And welcome to everybody. Yeah, 2020 has been a fucking year for a lot of people, myself included. Like, I have not had a breezy year. Um, and streaming has been, and doing YouTube videos has been a great thing, a consistent, constant thing in my life. And it's nice to have those constant things and have people to chat with. Um, and to have a place, like having a place like this where I can talk about the anime I'm watching, makes me happy. So I do very much appreciate that. Um, Promise Neverland Season 2. Hey, I can't watch this show because Kids in Peril, um, I hit my my flight, my fight or flight, my flight kicks in. Like the idea of Kids in Peril, I can't with it, so I can't watch Promise Neverland 2. If you want to watch Promise Neverland 2, please do. If you want to watch the first season, go back and watch that if you missed it, please do. But the idea of this, like, kids and issues and stuff like that, I just can't. Can you help me pick out a camera and microphone? So, Joliv, I'm not super knowledgeable about microphones. Like, I'm using a headset mic because I do model kits, so I want to be able to move my head around. So I didn't want a set mic. So I don't actually have a good recommendation for that. My camera is a Logitech camera. It's the basic camera, the C920. That's the one that everyone starts with. I have not upgraded to a better camera. Eventually, I probably will. But because I have two cameras, because I do model kit building, I'll say that if you want to do model kit building, or you want to have a second camera for other things, if you ever want to have two cameras, don't get the same exact camera. Because I can't really tweak one camera without tweaking the other, which is awful. So I would say don't do that. Don't make my mistake. But yeah, I went with basic cameras. Um, oh, and Silver Streak is throwing a camera and recommendation in there for you, which is great. But yeah, I don't unfortunately don't have a lot of experience with microphones. Uh, yeah, so Bobby, I can rename them. It's not a problem with that. Uh it's very small. This is a very small thing. We'll move on. Um, I can't set one camera in settings, saved settings, to not autofocus. Like either both autofocus or neither autofocuses. And it's a weird little thing because it's using the same settings. Because I want this camera to autofocus, but I don't want my overhead camera to autofocus because I move my hands too much. It's small. If they were different cameras, it wouldn't be a problem. Oh, we're almost done here. Quintessential Quintuplets 2. I really like the first season. Uh, a lot of great characters in the show. Is it unrealistic? Yes. The big revelation that happens in the first season about the main dude and a girl that he met before, and you're like, what do you mean you don't? What do you mean you don't know that the girl that changed your life is definitely one of these girls? How do you not know that? What are you talking about? But it's very fun. Uh, Seven Deadly Sins. Uh, I am. This is the fourth season, y'all. I think I stopped in season two. Ugh. Uh, I know it went places. So this is a sequel to Cooking Master Boy, which is very old. They made a sequel to a very old show. And I hope they do a decent job of explaining what happened in the first season because I kind of want to watch this because I would like a good cooking show, competitive cooking show, but I don't know anything about it and I don't want to feel lost because I think the first show aired a very long time ago. Uh, Pretty Derby season 2. I didn't like Pretty Derby. I know some people very much like Pretty Derby. Uh, Oh wow, that's literally starting in 4 days. That's the first show this season. Okay. Uh, or one of the first shows. Please enjoy Pretty Derby. Uh, and then no, I'm not going to see that. This fucking hey, check out the name of this show. It's called Wonder Egg Priority. It's called Wonder Egg Priority. An introverted girl whose fate is forever changed when she acquires a mysterious Wonder Egg, and then her dreams blend in with reality, and there are other Wonder Eggs. And I don't think I'm going to watch this show. I don't even know if it's on Cloverworks. That's great. This is one of those shows where like someone's going to tell me this thing kicks ass, and I'll be like, okay. Um, okay, so this is World Trigger season 2. Season 1 aired over the course of 3 years and has 71 episodes. Season 2 has 12 episodes. It also aired from 2014 to 2016, and now in 2020 we are getting the second season. This show, I know the manga took a long break because of health issues of the mangaka, and I don't know if that's the reason why the anime ended. I don't know if I'll get. There's so many shows. I don't know if I'll get to World Trigger. TV shorts. I know that Azure Lane, the chibi shorts for this show. I know that got picked up by Crunchyroll, so that's coming. I don't think I'm going to watch that. Probably won't watch that. That's kind of cute. Uh, that's cute looking. I don't know what that is, but that guy's got panties in his hand, so I don't know. This is a great idea. I hope it gets picked up by somebody and I can watch it. Stop motion series centering on guinea pigs who have become cars. That just sounds adorable. Why isn't that a thing I can watch? Maybe it will be. World Witches, which I don't know what that is. I love the look of that. Yeah, that just looks awesome. It's like stop motion, like fake claymation. Seems great. More ghost stories. Yanagome-chan. Season 3. I can't tell you anything that happened in season 1 or 2 of this show. I don't know if I'll watch it. It's short, so I might. And then more of these shows. I'll also be watching Kaizen. And also be watching With a Dog and a Cat. Every day is fun. There's a new movie. Movie stuff. Look, if and when the Sailor Moon stuff comes out, I'll watch the two Sailor Moon movies. I'm definitely gonna watch those. It's basically a season broken up or an arc broken up into 2 movies. That's probably the only movie that I'll be able to see. I have no interest in watching Evangelion 3.10 Thrice About Time. Bye bye all of Evangelion. I like that as a tag. Um, so here's the thing that I enjoy. Gintama the Final was delayed. To promote this, the last movie, the end of Gintama, to promote this movie, they are releasing an OVA called The Semi-Final as a way to promote the final. I think that's very good. This seems like kind of cool, but who knows if it'll show up on a network. Prince of Paul, I never saw. Saikoa Yakidomo movie 2. Never saw the first movie. Stopped watching the series. OVA. This is adorable. I don't know if this is coming out like tomorrow. Oh, High Dive has it. Fuck yeah, High Dive has it. Hey y'all, I didn't know that. I'm literally clicking on that. So at the time of this recording, this comes out in a day in some hours. So I'm definitely gonna watch this because it looks like High Dive picked it up, which is awesome. It's a little girl becomes a CEO. So yeah, High Dive got that. That rules. I'm definitely gonna watch that. Gintama the semifinal, as I said. High Rise Invasion. Oh, Netflix has this. Okay. Yeah. Uh, an OVA. What that is? Vladlov. I think this is a series, but they're putting out the first episode as an OVA, but it seems like it's a series. I don't know anything about it. And now, just to kind of wrap things up, we're going to sort by next airing episode, so we can see. So we can see Skate Leading Stars actually it's coming out in streaming services before it airs. But the beginning of the actual season of anime is starting in a few days. So we'll get Alice in Deadly School. Not coming nice and early to Funimation, Suppose a Kid. Funimation also has Other Side Picnic. I might watch it, but probably not. Pretty Derby. Yeah, Crunchyroll picked that up. That makes sense. Yeah, Idol shows. Netflix. Yeah, Crunchyroll, of course. But yeah, I'm going to check out that show. I literally just clicked it for myself so that I could go check that out. And that's it. That is the wrap up for the 2020 fall, the preview of the winter 2021 season. There's a lot of great shows coming out this season. Like I said, I'm going to try to watch it. I will be talking about the second hour of every. Do you need a subscription for? So Xander. It is the same as Crunchyroll. I'm 99% sure that you can watch stuff like a week later on Funimation. I'm 99% sure. I'm actually gonna. What I'll do is I'm gonna log out, and then click on show here and see if. So I logged out of my account to see if I can watch this. An episode that should be available. Yeah, with ads. Okay, so you get ads. Yeah, but yeah, if it's yeah, so there's that works. So you can watch them like a week later with ads. That is the same thing with Crunchyroll, where you can watch it with ad supported. Hulu you have to pay for a little bit and then you get it, but that is the exception there. So yeah, so you can just be a week behind. If there's something you want to catch up on, you're gonna have to watch some ads. They may have a few series that are subscription only. I don't think they do that, but and then sometime in 2021, perhaps you won't need to have two accounts. Who knows how they're gonna do it? I don't know. You know, it's all weird, but that might actually happen. All right, so we are gonna go and raid somebody. I'm gonna go figure out somebody for us to go check out. Let's see. We're going to go see about somebody for us to go visit and send some love to. So we'll go see who's doing stuff that I want to go. Oh, well, let me go see when my friend TQ started her stream. Because, oh, okay, great. Just an hour ago. So we're going to go raid TQ because TQ rules. So we're going to go give TQ a raid. She's playing Stardew Valley. And also TQ is lovely. And you should definitely give her a follow. She's just like, she's got a lovely community. She's a great person. And so we're going to go give her a raid to share the love. So feel free to come along on this. And folks that were watching this later on YouTube, thank you very much for hanging out on this video. And in 2 weeks, I'll have another Pat Bear's Anime Club with a different topic.